Hello YouTube and welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. This is going to be a Terran versus Protoss for you guys. It's a Grandmaster Ladder game, so hope you will enjoy this. Let me know about what you think about me doing ladder games every now and then. I do enjoy doing them as well. Let's jump straight into it. So on the bottom left hand side here we've got Raze, who is playing a Terran team. He is, as you can see, on Team Ascension, and he is doing a little bit of chatting. So obviously these guys probably know each other. There we go. So on the top left hand side here we've got a Protoss player called Tesla. Now I don't actually think he's on a team, although sorry, he does have, so it's TU Owls. I don't actually know this team. It doesn't appear to be a pro player, but as I said, these dudes are Grandmaster. So let's see how this one pans out. Stop talking, guys, let's get into the action, get some cheese done, get some action, get some explosions. And that's exactly what we want to see. That's what we're here for. We're here to see some good tactics, and we're here to see some fails too, because that's generally something that makes quite interesting playstyles. If you see a fail and then a recovery out of it, I think it brings on some good videos. So let's see how this one plays out. We've got ourselves the gas coming down, and of course the barracks, which is oh so common to begin with. Probably because that's the only way to begin with. But anyways, I won't talk too much rubbish. Let's see how Raze begins off. Is he going to get the Reapers down as soon as this game, or as soon as that barracks comes down, or is he going to pump out Marines? That'll be, of course, visible to us in the next few seconds. We've got ourselves an expansion coming down from Tesla pretty much immediately, so that's actually quite okay. Now just to note, the gateway was first and probably is a good choice to do in case there will be Reaper harassment. That way he can get himself a few adepts out just to defend. Otherwise he could potentially lose a few drones. So Reaper is the choice of first unit. Unfortunately the little icon's not working for some reason, and it seems to be always happening when the replay is a very recent replay. So funny enough, when the replay is on the current patch it doesn't seem to work. When it's on an outdated patch it does work, which honestly I don't know why, but it is definitely something that I should probably question with whoever designs these interfaces. So let's see, Reaper is on the way. It's just one Reaper, so just a scouting Reaper. Not expecting to do a huge amount of damage, but of course, if you manage to kill off a worker or two with a single Reaper, you are in quite a dominating position at that point. So we got ourselves some StarCraft 1 music in the background. So this is I believe that one of the Terran teams. And of course we're going to have a few more after this, depending on how long the game is, of course. If it's too fast, we might only see one or two songs, but I do have the full soundtrack from this. And there we go, one has been picked off, so that's actually quite good. Is he going to pick off another one? Or is he going to lose this Reaper? No, he's not, it seems. Looks like the Adept not quite fast enough to deal with this. And he is going around chasing it. But honestly, I think that this Reaper is quite safe, unless of course he decides to move back into the base and doesn't control it as well as he should. So it does take 3 hits, by the way, to kill off a Reaper, just to note. I mean, they do 22 damage per hit, and the Reaper has 60. So let's see, we got ourselves Marines on the way. We've got in fact 3 barracks already. So it's going to be interesting to see. We've got ourselves a Stargate about to complete as well, so double gas. I didn't actually notice that being spotted. The Reaper does get taken out, gets a little bit curious of what exactly is going on, and I want to have a quick look. Doesn't look like the Stargate has been spotted just yet. And we've got ourselves an Oracle on the way. Third base is also on the way, so it's a bit of a risk to do right now. I mean, he doesn't really know a whole lot of what his opponent is doing. And it does look like the choice of units, in fact, is just Marines and Marauders, which actually, seeing Marauders this early in the game is quite rare if you ask me. You don't really see it that often, but we'll see what exactly he does with these now. Strangely enough, bringing the Shade as well as the Adept itself up to the ramp, that's a bit of a risky move, and he almost lost one of his Adepts because of it. Scan has gone down, which means that he is indeed going to see it. I mean, that Scan is definitely seeing the Stargate. And at this point, oh, interesting enough, so he's using this Oracle to put down a Stasis Ward instead of instead of using it to kill SCVs. So obviously he's been spotted, so at this point Raze is putting down missile turrets. There's quite a scary force moving across the map as well for Raze. So what is this? This is a total of, I believe it's about 11 Marines and 3 Marauders, so that'll be very difficult to deal with when you've got absolutely no units. But on the other hand, there is this status ward here which could potentially split up the army in two, and 2 very clever pylon placements just to kind of bait them to go through it. It looks like 1 overcharge going down. Is it going to be enough? Oh, he might actually bait over the status ward. Yes, he gets 3 of these units in status ward, and now this could be the time for Tesla to come back into this. Losing 2 SCs, or probes rather, and nice cleanup on these Marines. He is going to get these cleaned up, and then these Marauders are going to be in a little bit of trouble as well. And here we go, 2 Phoenixes in position. Do they have their Graviton beam ready? They do indeed. One of them at least is ready. The second one is also available. And at this point, these Marauders are going to get cleaned up. This is some really, really good play from Tesla. He was so far behind in terms of units, and then all of a sudden, that 1 status ward just completely denying the ability for this army to go all out damage into the Protoss base. So just a clever use of the Oracle right now. Once it got spotted, not using it to kill a few SCVs, because chances are he would have potentially lost a few units. And oh, almost losing that Phoenix, very close. There's 6 health remaining. It looks like Raze is interested in expanding himself. Let's see, he's got himself 4 Phoenixes flying around the map. He's not producing any more at this time. Seems like he's pretty content with what he has. And funny enough, actually never mind, the shields are on the way, so it's going to have level 1 attack and shields for bio units. We've got ourselves the Templar Archives on the way as well, so potentially going to see a few storms. And that'll definitely be an interesting one. Storms are something that I think are underused in Legacy of the Void right now. Maybe they're just too expensive, maybe they don't quite pay off for what you get or how much they cost. Maybe they're too difficult to use, maybe they don't do as much damage. I don't honestly know what the thought process of a professional gamer is, or even a Grandmaster player either. I mean, you know, I'm no pro. And let's see, we've got ourselves 2 status ward. Oh, this 1 status ward gonna deny the you know, just 1 Marine, which is not a huge amount. But if this army manages to get into this status ward, that could be absolutely disastrous right now. And he is stimming straight in there. And there's just 1 Marine. This is beautiful right now. So despite the fact that he destroyed, or rather baited the status wards and didn't actually get caught by them, he is actually going to lose out on this. So the Protoss army just doing such significant damage here that at this point, honestly, it's looking pretty grim for Raze right now. I mean, he's lost all of his army. He's got a 20 army supply as opposed to 41 of Tesla. And Tesla is currently building up his 4th base already, while Raze is only establishing his 3rd. So I think what Tesla needs to do right now is just continuously push into his opponent's base, do as much damage as he can, maybe use an Oracle to actually harass the mineral line. But then again, this Oracle has been paying for itself right now. I mean, he's doing really, really good with these. And I have to commend the play that he's pulling off. Oh, losing 1 Phoenix there, unfortunately. Let's have a quick look at the kills on these Phoenixes. So this guy has 1, this guy has 1, and this guy has 0. So, not too bad. But he's probably not using as good, getting as much use out of these Phoenixes as he could. He's still got more making though, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does with them. Is he going to continue to use them for harassment, or is he going to use them to engage on with the main army? But looks like he's got enough energy for another status ward, and honestly, as I said, I think that status wards are something that are completely underused, just like Psionic Storm. So while I think that Protoss are in no way disadvantaged without it, I think that they're definitely a little bit underused. I mean, the amount of power that status ward give, and I mean, I've already seen a game pretty much turned upside down on its head when a status ward was used to disable about 6 or 7 tanks. That was a game, I believe, with was it Mana versus somebody? I can't remember exactly, but the status ward was just used so beautifully. and it pretty much won the game at that point. So I definitely think that status wards are something that Protoss players definitely need to start making use of. Just like Psionic Storms. I mean, Psionic Storms, they're good. They've always been good against, for example, bio armies, but I honestly, I don't know if they're as useful as catching out half an army with this status ward. I mean, think about it. If you fight off a 200 supply versus 200 supply army, you know, Protoss versus Terran, obviously that's not exactly possible. It's usually about 130 or so army, and, you know, a bit less depending on, you know, how late or, you know, earlier you are in the game. But if you fight off a direct size army of about 130 supply, the odds of coming out severely on top are not nearly as close as if you fight two armies of, let's say if the number was 140, then if you fight two armies of 70 instead, then you are going to come so far ahead on top simply because your units are able to damage all together at the same time. So definitely something to use, and I would like to see some professional players making use of those. Now, we've got ourselves some ghosts. These are going to be used for EMPs, and Oracle again being used for revealing all of these units. That's quite good. We got Widow Mines in the fray as well, so unit composition just getting mixed up a little bit. No longer seeing the Marines and a bunch of siege tanks. And there we go, one status ward has been released. Let's see what else it's going to do here. Another status ward going to get triggered here. Beautiful. And I think that the fact that Raze is doing this right now is so good. But oh my god, there's so many adepts here. He's moving straight into the army. He's going to engage straight onto it. He's not scared at all. He's just going all in on it. But the EMP is going down, doing so much damage. Is there going to be enough units here for Raze? It certainly looks like there might. The EMPs have done a quite significant amount of damage. And I think that this is exactly what has turned this game upside down for Tesla. Just the EMPs were beautiful here. But at the same time, I think he should be fine to hold onto it. Probably not enough to push straight into Raze's base, but Tesla is indeed holding on here just fine. These Widow Mines are going to pop again. Oh no. Oh no. He might just get them off. Oh, one hit. Doesn't get these other two hits, but of course, as soon as some of these units come back, two more Widow Mines are going to do quite significant damage. I mean, I do believe that a Widow Mine takes 2 hits to kill off some of these units. And there we go, cleaning that out as well. Oh, managing to get the rocket off there. Looks like we got a Marine here just spotting out this expansion. This Marine has actually been standing here for quite some time, just spotting out exactly what's going on. Let's see, Oracle is sitting here. It's got 93 energy at this point, so could probably use it for better use. Perhaps putting down a few status wards, and looks like he's sending out a Marine on its way just to suicide into something and potentially catch out some of these Widow Mines, or not Widow Mines, but status wards. So it looks like we got ourselves level 3 armor and bio. Armor and weapons for bio units for Raze. So quite early upgrades, 13 minutes of the game, and he's already getting himself 3-3. And we got disruptors on the way as well. Now Tesla is, I have to commend him, he's doing so good in terms of making use of every one of his units. I mean, he's been using Phoenixes, Archons, High Templars, Oracles for more than one use, not just mineral line harassment. Now he's using disruptors. I mean, the one thing I'm waiting to see from this dude is carriers. I honestly don't think he's going to get to that since he's invested so much into getting such a huge army on the ground. But I mean, honestly, he's done so much in terms of tech that I would not be surprised at all to see some carriers or something like that going down. Good pick off of that Widow Mine as well. And as you can see, there is a sensor tower here, so Raze of course is going to be aware of exactly when this is going to be going towards his base. And let's see, there's so many Marines here. I mean, that is a lot of Marines. It's 24 per page, so he's got himself, let's have a quick look at the units tab. 67 Marines done. Oh, Purification Nova going down. Is there another one available? Yes, there is indeed. Oh, there's huge storms. That was a massive storm, and look at the amount of units. The supply has just plummeted for Raze right now. He's at 66 supply in terms of against 104. I think that Tesla is doing so well right now. There is Liberators in the air, and they do have the upgraded range upgrade, so they are going to be quite fine to hold off against this for now. And as you can see here, we've got ourselves 2 more Stargates on the... Oh, that Purification Nova just about missing here. And I think that these Phoenixes, so good to use them just to clean up these Liberators, because of course it's very difficult to actually get up to them right up in their face. And we've got ourselves the Command Center getting taken down. The Liberator circles. Oh my god, the Liberators getting all out of position here for just a few moments, and by the time that they have reinforced themselves, they did get... I mean, by the time they put themselves down, the Protoss army has already escaped all the way right through. So this is not looking good for Raze at all. He's pretty much losing all of his defenses here. And is he going to lose these Liberators as well? Honestly, I think that he just might. Putting off quite a lot of SCVs to repair that command center, but of course, he is oversaturated here anyway, so he is quite fine. An 80 to 68 army supply is the numbers right now. We've got a Liberator over here just doing a bit of harassment. How many kills has he got? Already 9 in total. That's actually quite a significant number. I did miss that, unfortunately. As you can see, the little annotation here does no longer work. And I don't know why that is. It's a bit annoying, but you know, what can you do? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We just got to move on and do with what we've got. And Mothership Core has also been produced at this point as well. So going to potentially use that for some stealth action. We've got ourselves 3 Tempests being produced at the same time. And look at the range of this Liberator. Absolutely huge. This Liberator is going to get cleaned up here. Tesla is in position. Not Tesla, the Tempest is in position. Going to start taking out... Oh, he's backing it up. Why is he backing it up? He's losing so many workers right now. Oh my god. And he's... None of these units can actually fire at air. What is he doing? Oh no. He's actually managed to lose one of his disruptors. That was a huge mistake. He just sat there with no anti-air units at all. Losing units to these... Liberators. That did not end up well at all for him. Honestly, I think that was a big mistake. But at the same time, he's so far ahead at this point. He's got himself 5 fully established bases, despite the fact that he's lost a few workers on it. So let's have a look at the units lost. Got 3 SCVs to 27 probes. Quite a significant difference there. Look at all these mules as well. He's got himself another command center being built here. I wonder, is this an expansion or if this is a second planetary? Probably an expansion, but then again, you never really know. And Liberator circles are going down. There's not much anti-air here. There's just a few stalkers. Disruptors are doing a lot of damage here as well. The army supply plummeting for Raze, but at the same time, the Liberators are just so difficult to deal with. Recall has been used up there just to get out of harm's way. Mothership Core keeping the units safe, but there's not that many of them. That has severely evened out the supply in terms of army supply. I think that this turtling mechanic is exactly what Raze needs to do right now. Honestly, I would love to see some higher tech from him. Something like perhaps, honestly, I couldn't even imagine what. I mean, he could get something like, I think he's kind of lacking siege tanks at the moment. He's gotten himself the Liberators to turtle, but he doesn't have siege tanks. I think he could definitely use that. And let's see, all these Liberators have actually got quite a nice amount of kills at this point. He's got himself another supply and another command center going down. Raze is just going all out with expansions right now. He is pretty damn crazy with his expansions here. Throwing down a bunch of mules as well. So honestly, he's doing so well right now in terms of holding off against such a Protoss army. Look at the amount of Tempests. There is a total of, what is that? That is a total of 10. Is that all that he's got in the field? Yes, he does. He has 10 and he's making one more right now. Getting himself, I do believe that's level 2 weapons. Yeah, it is. So level 2 weapons for ships or for air units. And that is definitely a rare upgrade. You don't really see that often. And as I said, he's gotten himself upgrades for air units at this point. So if I see carriers, I will almost not be surprised at this. Now I don't know if that's the best option for him, since there's so many Vikings in the air, but it would potentially be a useful thing for him to get. And let's see, Mothership Core is up in the air. Or sorry, Mothership. I really love the animation of the Mothership. It's just so cool. All of these lights, it's like a proper UFO. Got ourselves a bit of damage going down here. Gonna snipe this off uncontested. That's a good pick off here for Raze. He's gonna want to back off here before he loses any more. And another drop going down in the main. He's actually shut down both of the robotics facility. This is actually quite huge. He might even get them destroyed at this point. And this is where the Terran movement and mobility is so significant. That is a huge amount of damage. Oh no, this Tempest getting picked off here. I think that was actually pretty worth it. I mean, he's managed to destroy 2 robotics facilities. It doesn't particularly seem like Tesla is actually very interested in rebuilding that, but I still think that Tesla is in quite a dangerous position right now. He's by no means lost here. I mean, he's by no means lost the game, but he definitely wants to watch out for those drops, because if he manages to snipe off a critical nexus, for example, either this one or this one yet again, his economy is going to be so severely crippled. And let's have a look right now. Got ourselves 2,000 minerals roughly. It's jumping up and down obviously with mules versus 1,300. So there is a big difference here. And this planetary fortress is going to have a difficult time taking out so many units. It actually looks like it's about to take out a few Archons, but nice purification Novas going down in the back of that. That was really, really good right now. Oh no, Liberator Circles! Oh my god, the storms! The storms, they're huge! Look at the amount of storms that just went down! All of these Vikings are so low on health. Are they gonna be enough to take out these Tempests? I do think that they will manage it. There's purification Novas going down as well. Oh, beautiful place here. Honestly, I think this is one of the best engagements that Tesla has pulled off in this game. In fact, I have to save the actual replay so I can include it in some sort of top playlist, because that was absolutely beautiful. And recalling at this point, he is ahead on supply, and this game is actually quite insane. I haven't seen a game like this in a long time. Legacy of the Void is so expansion heavy. You have to expand so much to keep the economy rolling, and this is exactly what the players are doing. And instead of having the way Legacy of the Void works is Blizzard wanted to speed up the games, which means that, you know, the bases get mined out faster. You've got yourself a lot of aggression. You start off with 12 workers instead of about 6. And what that does essentially is just, it makes macro games a lot harder to achieve, or rather get to. So seeing a game move on to 22 minutes like this is an absolute delight to cast. I absolutely love it, and I wish that Blizzard went slightly in the direction that they used to be at, which was slightly longer games. Nice purification. I'll just pick off a few of these Marines for free. Oh, not quite managing to hit that second one there. And let's see, there's so much going down right now. Oh, Mothership Core gets sniped off. Beautiful play here. And honestly, this is so good right now. I think he's in such a nice position. Raze has been defending off against this so much. He's lost so many of his Vikings with a few storms, but I think that he's actually doing just fine in terms of surviving against Tesla right now. The only thing he needs to do is get his Liberators back up, because that was such a significant thing for him to have earlier on. As you can see, the purification over, not purification over, the he manages to snipe off the disruptor to prevent that purification from going down. And there we go, reinforcements from Terran is going to start to do damage here. There's so many medevacs in the air healing all of this army up, but is it going to be enough? The army supply is slightly favoring Tesla, but Tesla is appearing to show just a little bit of dominance here. Now this Viking is going to get taken out here, but the Protoss army is still moving in. He's only got a few adepts and 2 immortals in the back of that, so not a huge amount. He's got himself a drop here as well, so denying this base altogether. He could actually lift it off if he wishes to. And finally getting these immortals cleaned up at this point. 72 to 58 army supply, 24 minutes into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the longest games I've casted so far, and I am absolutely loving it. I really like these two guys. They're just Grandmaster players, which, sorry, not just, they're Grandmaster players, not pros. So seeing a game this good from non-pro players, it definitely tells me that I should be casting more of these Grandmaster players, maybe even some Master players. So definitely something that I will keep an eye out for the future, because definitely, I have to say, stop saying definitely, because I'm going to drive myself nuts here, but I really want to continue with this, and I think it is a good idea to have Grandmaster games involved in my channel as well. So again, definitely going to continue to do that. And I'll try to avoid using that word again in this cast, because I've said it far too many times. So let's see, level 3 weapons are on the way for air units for Raze. He's getting himself a few Liberators. Let's have a look in fact at how many he's gotten in the field. He's got himself only 2. 2 Liberators, 4 Vikings. Oh my god, there's 9 Tempests in the air already. He's rebuilding these so quick right now. Oh, he was using a similar tactic that I saw recently, where there was a siege tank used to pick off a Widow Mine that was sitting on the ground, but he was actually using the Archon splash damage instead. Now he didn't actually pick it off, which is a little bit unfortunate, but definitely something that we can take note of for killing off Widow Mines when you do not have detection. Your Archon can... oh no! Boom! And is he going to do it again? No, he's not. Oh, there we go. He's got himself an observer up in the air, I think. I don't actually see it, but I do believe there is an observer there somewhere spotting this. And let's see, there's only 1 Liberator in the air here. How much damage is he going to manage to pull off? There was a nice Nova there, and so much damage going down here. These Protoss units are getting cleaned up very, very quickly right now. And I just want to see, there looks like a Liberator being used over here to kill off workers. Not as important as this huge engagement though. There's so many air units in the air. Is it going to be enough to clear all this up? There's only Phoenixes capable of attacking them, because the ground army is already cleaned up. And it does look like the Protoss army has come out on top here. 65 to 38. It looks pretty grim right now for Raze. He's got this base mined out, this base almost mined out. This one is actually doing quite okay, and the one on the top here definitely still fine and almost fully available. He should be using these Tempests to finish that off. Why is he not using the Tempests? Oh, Tesla, are you not going to deny this base? Definitely would be useful. Looks like he's got himself level 2, I believe. No, that's actually level 3 shields. The upgrades do look very similar, just a little bit different shade of blue. So again, having so many upgrades, I mean, generally you don't see the shield upgrades at all, but in this game we're seeing pretty much everything. We got ships for air units, the Terran air units. We got ship weapons for Protoss units, and now we've even got the shields for ground units. Looks like this stack has been warded off here. So he is going for a little bit of a cheeky expand here. It's right next to the Terran base. And looks like another drop going down here as well, getting that medevac destroyed. And it does look like these stalkers might not hold on. Never mind. So I thought it was going to actually hold off here, but it looks like the Marines do eventually manage to clean that up. There is also something going down here. It looks like another drop. And actually picking off a lot of these depths before they even spawn. This is actually quite good. He's doing damage from every angle right now. There is damage going down onto this orbital shipyard, or not orbital shipyard, this planetary fortress. Army supply favoring Tesla quite nicely right now. 30 army supply. There's so many Liberators in the air. Oh my god. These ground units are going to get decimated very, very quickly, of course, unless these Tempests start to do some significant damage to them. Does manage to pick off the planetary fortress over there. The main army engagement has been picked off, it seems. It looks like we've got Vikings, we got Marines, we've got a few Liberators. In fact, the one Liberator just got cleaned up there. And I think that this is going in Tesla's favor. Honestly, I think that at this point, Raze is starting to quickly fall behind. And there we go. Tesla takes the game. And with that, an absolutely epic epic game from the ladder. I have to say, this was absolutely beautiful. Honestly guys, leave this video a thumbs up. Honestly, share the love. This was one of the best games I've cast, despite the fact that it's not being played by pro players. It's something that I definitely, and I said it again, I have to continue casting Grandmaster and Master games. This was beautiful, and I really hope that I will catch out more games like this. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you liked what you saw today, of course, don't forget to click that subscribe button. It will be under my face as an annotation if you've got annotations enabled on your browser. And of course, if you haven't, underneath the video, or if you're watching it on the channel itself, you will have the red subscribe button pretty much everywhere. So that's pretty much it. Good luck, take care. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end, and I will see you guys in the next game.